just moving in circles, but we're losing our shape.
Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today is my April plan with me in my bullet journal and also where I flipped through the previous month. So let's start off with a March flip through. So my theme was this like cottagecore mushroom type of theme. I really love the color scheme for this and how all of the spreads turned out. So flipping over, here is my calendar. So I did this pretty intricate background design with like the red and little stickers and a bunch of different doodles on there. On this next spread, I have my goals, favorites, expenses, and a to-do list that I didn't really use. As you can see, I used a lot of different scrapbooking paper throughout this month, like this cute little botanical one, and I really liked using that. I didn't actually use any Pinterest photos in March, which was a little bit different, but I thoroughly enjoyed being really creative with all the spreads. So I used a lot of scrapbooking paper, like I said, some craft paper, I did some doodles, and I also ended up using like this red like pen for a lot of parts of it because it just matched perfectly color wise, so that was kind of fun to include. This one has some fancy lettering on top, and then I also found these like old scrapbooking stickers that had like these little foam backings to them, so they are kind of 3D and I think they were kind of cool. So that is it for March. For my April cover page, I went for like a purple butterfly theme, and I began by sketching out these, actually one butterfly, and then I just duplicated the layer a bunch of times to cover the page. I didn't do this on camera, but kind of straightforward. And then with the acrylic paintbrush, I used that with different shades of purple to fill in all the butterflies. I was a little crunched on time this week, so it wasn't the most intricate design that I have done for some of my monthly cover pages, but it was still fun to just like therapeutically paint in all of these different sections with like the paintbrush on Procreate. And I just kind of had a lot of fun adding those in. I used also some darker colors to add some shadows and also some lighter ones to add some highlights. And then I went crazy with adding sparkles. I literally did this across the entire page just because I thought that it was missing something. And sparkles just always look good on every piece of artwork, so I added a bunch of those with a white pen. And then for the background, I did this very similar like watercolory thing that's kind of starting lighter at the bottom and fading to a darker shade at the top. And that is how the print turned out. When it was printed, the colors were a little bit pinker than I had hoped for, which is a little disappointing, but regardless, I think it still looks pretty cute and will be a great theme for April.
I see it now, that everything will be okay.
And moving on to the April calendar, I always begin by sketching this out with pencils so I don't screw anything up like the spacing or the lines, and then I'm going over that with this dark purple Crayola super tip marker, just with a ruler to keep all the lines nice and straight. And then I'm writing April out on the side in some calligraphy, and I printed out a bunch of Pinterest photos that are like purpley and butterfly themed. I chose some to go in here and then just glued those in. Usually on my calendar pages, I keep it pretty simple with just the calendar and nothing really else on it. I used to include like important dates. Sometimes I do that, but I wasn't really feeling that this month, and I don't really use it that often, so I'm just keeping it really simple here with just the calendar. I added a drop shadow to April, and then I'm writing out all the days of the week with another Crayola super tip using a lot of different purple variations from all of the Crayola super tips here, so that is always great. And then I'm coloring in the parts of the calendar that are not April, and I'm adding some little doodly stars and including a drop shadow with a black Posca paint pen. So this is how it turned out. It's nothing too crazy or special, but it'll be good for April. It's pretty simple, and yeah, that's how it turned out. And now onto the spread that has a bunch of different purposes to it. So on the left hand page I have my goals and favorites. So I'm doing this like kind of boxed out design. So I drew that out first, and then I'm using all of the different purple shades that I have picked out for this theme and just doing like these kind of lines that are in like some geometric type of thing. I don't really know. I just wanted to like include a lot of purple and use all the cool purple markers that I had. So on the other side, I also just did this like pen doodly box thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but just something simple to kind of keep this stuff organized and to just change things up. I'm running out golds and favorites, so the top part is in white and the bottom is in a dark purple. And then in this doodly box over here, I have my expenses, and I'm just adding some calligraphy, and then my grand to-do list, which I didn't use in March, but because April is the last month of the semester, I thought it might be nice to just check things off in like a master to-do list, just because it's the end of the semester, so we'll see how that goes. I added some Pinterest photos and some more of these like doodly stars, some drop shadows, and just kind of filled in the page with whatever I felt like. Just similar to before, this page will be great for organizing my life for this month, but it's nothing super creative or super special, but that is all right. Not all bullet journal spreads have to turn out perfectly, so that is how this one turned out.
I'm all up in the clouds when it's pouring rain. Ain't never coming down unless you call my name. Yeah, we should take it slow.
And lastly, we have the first weekly spread of the month, and to be honest, these are always my favorite to do because I feel like there's like really low stakes for it because I'm only using the spread for 1 week, so I always have fun experimenting with how they turn out. So I began by using some purple Pinterest photos, and I'm writing April out in some calligraphy at the top, and the L kind of looks like an E. In this case, I did that with a Crayola super tip, and then on the other side, I'm using some more purple colors to add this kind of doodly design similar to on my previous page. So I'm just using all the purple colors that I had chosen, and then I doodled some stars on there and then glued this butterfly photo on top. I was feeling that the page was looking a bit blank, so I just kind of added some black lines all over in different directions in like doubles, so there's 2 of them, just for something cool. And then I tried doodling these butterflies. That the first one was kind of a fail, but I got the hang of it after a while, and I found the style of butterfly that I wanted to include, so I drew a bunch of those across the page just to change it up, add something, a cute little detail. And then I'm writing out the days of the week in this like bubble letter type of font, and each one is in a different purple shade. So I'm using a combination of some Tombow markers and then also some Crayola super tips for this. And here's some more random black lines. This is with a Muji black gel pen. These are like my favorite ever. And then for the days of the month, I'm doing these lilac stars to write in the days of the month inside of them. So this is how the first weekly spread turned out. I think it's a pretty average spread, but it will keep me nice and organized throughout this week. So here is a flip through of all of the April spreads. Like I've kind of sporadically mentioned, it's not my favorite, but I felt a little bit rushed doing this. It's been a busy couple of weeks with school, so that's okay if it's not my favorite. I really did enjoy all my March ones, so I guess that makes up for it. But yeah, that is how these spreads turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'd love to chat with you in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!